Father Joe Cherolickal, belonging to the congregation of the Missionaries of St. Francis de Sales, MSFS. I would like to share my vocation story with you, which you may hear also of the vocation stories of others these days. But in my story, there is nothing miraculous, but just an ordinary way of life. As the psalmist says, "You kept my delicate things, you knit me together and placed me in my mother's womb." I was born in an ordinary family of God-fearing parents with 2 brothers and 1 sister, and among them I was the 3rd child. From childhood onwards, I had the deep desire to become a priest. Maybe the daily prayers at home, the insistence on Eucharistic celebration, especially the examples of my mother, of compassion, of hospitality, and a God-fearing mother, were the foundations for my journey of life. We read in the book of Samuel, though he was a boy, he served at the altar of the Lord. At the age of 8 or 9, I too began as an altar boy, especially the Advent season, the Lenten season of 50 days, were days which I made it a point to go to the church daily in order to serve the Lord at the altar. The life of a priest, their ministry of spirituality to the people, inspired me to go forward in this particular way of life, or my ambition to become a priest. As I was studying in the 10th class, many priests were approaching the school in order to promote boys for the seminary. I came in contact with a Carmelite priest, and in the same year, I went at least 3 times for occasion camps to the Carmelite congregation. But as Prophet Jeremiah says, "My ways are different for you. They are for your future, and they are for your hope." A distant relative of mine in the MSFS congregation invited me and advised me to join the MSFS. So I could not go to the Carmelite. But it was a difficult thing for me to tell the same news to the Carmelite priest. But to my surprise, he told me, "You should become a good priest wherever you are." He blessed me and he prayed for me. 1991, June 15th, a Saturday, is a memorable day in my life. The day on which I joined the seminary. Grandparents, few relatives and neighbors came home in order to bid farewell to me, and in the afternoon of the same day reached the minor seminary at SFS seminary. We were very joyful, happy. In my batch, almost 27 students, we were so happy as we entered into the portals of the seminary, fulfilling the deep desire of our dream. But after a day, when all others left, when we began with the program in the seminary, the situation changed. The classes, especially the language English, prayers, timetable, manual labor, we were not able to cope up with this new situation in this suddenly changed way of life. But the formators, those who came after us, inspired us, instructed us, and they supported us. There were even companions going to the washroom, keeping open the taps, and cried loudly because of their pain, especially of the homesickness. But today, when I turn back to those days of insistence and support from the formators, today what we are is because of the formation that we received at different levels. went through my life in the seminaries, different stages of formation, especially novitiate, philosophy and theology. And at last, in 2002, I became a priest. Once again affirming the desire that was deep within me, another joyful day of my life. Then began the ministry as working in the parish, again in the school, and the opportunity to go for higher studies. And again back to Indian Institute of Spirituality, where young sisters are preparing for their perpetual profession, and priests and religious doing their masters and doctorate in spiritual theology as a department of theology of the St. Peter's Pontifical Institute. God has given into our life a deep desire. It is our duty to recognize and to nurture that desire within us. St. Teresa of Lisieux says, God will not give into our life a desire which cannot be realized. And she says, God has given me a desire to become a saint in spite of my littleness. And we know today she is the saint of God. Even if we don't become a saint, let us aspire, but let us nurture the deep desire that is placed in us, because God has placed in us a desire that it can be realized and that it can be achieved in our lives. As I said in the beginning, I belong to the congregation of the missionaries of St. Francis de Sales, MSFS, which began in the year 1838 under the patronage of St. Francis de Sales. The congregation was founded by Venerable Father Peter Mary Mermier. And we have our charism, living the spirituality of St. Francis de Sales in our mission, the gentleman saint. And we follow our apostolates in various levels. Renewal of Christian life by parish missions, pioneering and overseas evangelization spread over more than 26 countries, and the education of the heart, especially of the young, with the motto, education of the heart is the heart of education. Especially the young ones, I invite you, recognize the deep desire that is placed within your heart. Respond to the Lord, the desire that is given to you, because God will never place in you a desire which cannot be realized. My responsibility and yours is to nurture that desire, and let us become, whoever may be and wherever may be, the best one for the Lord, because it is God who has given us His life. May God bless us all.